Hi guys, and thanks for watching Planting Paradise. So today I had picked up a White Knight Philodendron, and I wanted to get it all potted up with you guys. It actually came in sphagnum moss. It's a little bit dry right now, so what I have been doing to propagate is actually a Leca method. So I do want to show that to you guys today. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this baby out and kind of take a look at the roots here. Okay, so you can see that it's got quite a few nodes, which are these lines here. 1, 2, 3, and you can see there are little baby roots coming through, and it does look like it has started to root. So yay, especially this top one here. Wow, I'm kind of impressed actually. So it does have quite a few nodes here. So you see at least 1, 2, 3 nodes, these little lines here. And you can see there are little baby roots starting from what were originally aerial roots, which are natural roots that this type of plant does grow. The other thing that I've learned is the White Knight babies tend not to have a lot of variegation on the leaves. You can see there's just a little white streak there, but they may or may not develop that variegation as they get older. That being said, most of the time people buy this one in particular because of that beautiful white kind of splash along that dark red burgundy kind of colored stem. So that contrast is really what I'm finding out is what draws a lot of people. Whereas my white wizard actually has a beautiful half moon white and dark green, or I guess light green, leaf as its first leaf growing from the node. So I'll go ahead and pop a picture up here so that you can kind of see it, but it is a little bit different. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and just pot this baby up. So I have started to do that Leca method because the sphagnum moss can be a little bit difficult to get out and off of the roots successfully when I'm transferring from the moss to its forever medium. But since this baby is new to me, what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to be spraying it with my homemade mixture. That would just kind of help get any critters that are hiding along the leaves. I just do it as a precaution, really. So let me go grab that. So I've got my soapy mix that I've mixed up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and spray the leaves and try to get into all the nooks and crannies. I just can't afford any kind of infestation, so I try to just be extra vigilant. Pretty surprised that a lot of the plants will actually survive through my process, and I also put all my plants through like a 45-day quarantine, but I just like to make sure I don't have to deal with anything in the long run, because once the bugs get in, I don't know, it just makes me sad. It makes me kind of just want to wish that I had dealt with them earlier. So I do like to rub the leaves as well, just to make sure that if there's any eggs that are just stuck on, sometimes the eggs protect the creatures, and by mechanically rubbing it, it just helps to wash it all away. You can let it sit for just a few minutes, and then I usually just like to rinse it off. It's got a new leaf coming in. I definitely want to rinse it off well. And I do try to avoid the roots if possible. So I do like to work on these cuttings a little bit earlier before they develop any good roots. Another reason why I just try to be a little bit more vigorously initially. So while I let the plant sit and let the mixture do its job, I'm going to prepare the medium, the Leca. So I actually have a container here that I have been soaking in a mix. I actually do believe in nutrients for rooting cuttings. I think that they need all they can get, in appropriate amounts, obviously, while they're developing their new roots. And I have recently discovered this new amazing rooting hormone. So I put a few drops of Foliage Pro, which is this. And I also put a few drops of the rooting hormone, which is this one. But this actually has like a cork top that is very difficult to get out. So I actually purchased a whole bunch of amber drop bottles so that I can put both the Foliage Pro and the Rapid Start in and have easy access. I was using liquid dirt for a while as well, but it turns out that the instructions confused me and I was using it wrong. But all my plants are alive, so no biggie. So anyways, we're going to get started. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it easy for myself by popping it into a separate container, and I just throw the Leca right in there. And I am going to have to make up some new liquid mix of the rooting hormone as well as the Foliage Pro. Oh, one little tip about the liquid dirt. I found out that it actually doesn't have calcium, magnesium, so you will need to use a supplement with that as well. But just wanted to point that out. So my method for this is actually I solder 4 holes about a quarter of the way up. And I will actually use a secondary cup in the meantime to keep the water levels high until the rooting is appropriate, I guess, enough so that it can adjust to the Leca. And I just find that an easier way to have it adjust from going from pure water to a medium like Leca, which makes it easier to then transfer it to if you want it to an aerate mix or just forever semi-hydro. So just wanted to kind of point that out. Okay, I am going to shake up. You can see my little amber bottles here. I'm going to shake it up and I'm going to put about 5 drops in of the Foliage Pro. 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 6. Okay, well, that's okay. That's not going to kill her. And then I'm also going to shake up the rooting hormone, which smells absolutely terrible, by the way. Do not recommend you sniffing it. And I actually do 4 drops in a quart. And I am going to go ahead and fill it with my 0 water. Okay, pouring it in. I've rinsed off the White Knight in tepid water, so you don't want to shock it with too cold water or hot water either for that matter. And I am ready to put her in. So what I'm going to do, and this is kind of like my, I guess, method that I find the easiest, is I actually overfill it so that it's way above the Leca. And then this actually, I find it easier to just stick it straight in. You know what, guys? Because of the leaf shape, I'm going to have to add some more Leca. Let me go grab that. Okay, I'm just adding some more Leca to see how I can get around those nice curly leaves there. Okay, and again, fill it up so it's slightly above the Leca level. And that actually gives the Leca a little bit of buoyancy so that when you actually stick it in, they move around as opposed to stick to your plant and scrape against any tiny baby roots that it might have. So it looks like, okay, looks like this might work. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick it along the side a little bit so that I can actually see what's going on and make sure the root development is going well. So sticking it right along the side there, and that's also why I like clear cups, so I can watch the root development from the side. All right, I don't know how to do this without being over a sink. 1 second. Okay, so I've got the plant wedged in here, and you can see because of the buoyancy of the Leca, I can actually push it in and pull it out very easily without having to worry too much about scraping the roots. So that's kind of been my go-to method to allow for that a little bit of flexibility. Now, guys, watch this. Once I take this cup away from the bottom here, because I have the holes along the bottom of the cup, it actually settles, the leca actually settles itself, and now I've got it perfectly where I wanted it. And now I can I can adjust that water level using the secondary cup here. So I'm just gonna pour out, oops, some of it because I definitely don't need the water level that high. But I do like to hydrate it a little bit more. So I do want it right around where that bottom of that root is going to be. So I am going to add a little bit of water just back up here. Okay. And this allows me to kind of customize that water level while still allowing the top of the leca to remain dry, and that's really what stabilizes the plant in there so it's not flopping all over the place. And that's it. That's my method. This is going to go in my prop box. It's going to get bottom heat as well as grow lights, and the humidity I tend to keep around 70, but it varies. I try not to baby them too much because then once they're out in the real world, they wouldn't be able to survive as well. But she is all potted up. There she is. And now I can see from the side when she grows some, oops, sorry. Now I'll be able to see from the side when she grows some new roots because they're clear containers. Hey guys, so it's been about 3 months or so, and you can see that this plant has put out so many new leaves. And what I actually ended up doing is I chopped the bottom of it off and I traded it for a pink princess. So this is actually the top half and is propagated really, really well. It has a ton of roots here. You can see it's grown a lot of new roots here. And guys, look at this beautiful half moon leaf right here. It's a little bit streaky, but it, I don't know, it kind of makes me think that this is a tri-colored white wizard. This new leaf also came out incredibly red. So very beautiful looking plant. So overall, it propagated really, really well in the leca. So I really, really enjoy having the leca instead of the moss because it was so much easier to separate the roots out versus trying to figure out what was root and moss for this philo. Anyways, well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Feel free to drop me a comment with any questions or anything else you think of. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Have a great week.